Okay guys, Siegfried is a 627, has Earth, Good, Void. We're going to be playing our deck under Void today. His abilities are, after you block with a foundation card, add it to your staging area, so you get to build for free when you block. And so it's very reminiscent of Terry 1 Dot, but you don't have to commit for it, which to me is nuts. E for plus, this attack gets +3 or -2 damage, and damage cannot receive any more bonuses or penalties. Your opponent can flip one foundation to cancel the ability. So the main goal is you're playing this big bait and switch game of getting your opponent to flip their entire board so you can do cool things. So we'll move on to the rest of the deck. Because we flipped their things, we're going to flip more of their things demandingly with spinning pile driver. It's a 0-4 Fury throw. Mainly a throw is what we worry about. We check the 4. I'm going to keep this here so we can see it. Check the 4 Siegfried. So it makes it a 0-7 throw. And then the first E is flip one foundation in my opponent's staging area. Just problem card, gone. I don't like that, gone. Just gone. It doesn't have a block, but usually play it the moment you see it, so like you don't have to worry about it. Next, we're playing 4 of Siegfried's Rook Splitter. It's a 1 high block. It's a 5 diff, 4 mid for 5. Has powerful 2, stun 2, and weapon. Then the abilities that matter for this deck is your opponent may discard 1 card to cancel this ability, but the ability is your opponent flips 2. So like at minimum, they may flip 3 during the turn, which flipping all their stuff is really, really good because it means they can't flip later. So like it's a 4 for 8 with Siegfried if they don't want to. Everything in this deck is going to be a mid, so we're playing 4 Force Ball. It's a 5 for 7 with Siegfried that says combo E, combo with your mid attack. Reveal the top 3 cards and add all the mids to your hand, which is nuts. Its other abilities, you can give it -2 speed for +2 damage, but most of the time you don't have to worry about that. It's just a solid card that picks things up. Next, we're playing Acid Spit. It fits discard, your opponent discards 2, which is whatever. It's a 3 mid for 3, 3 for 6 with Siegfried if it matters. And then combo E with a mid attack. Your opponent discards 1 card. That's really key in this deck. You'll see why in a second. Because we're trying to do this cool thing with controlling their hand and their foundation and their face-up foundations. But your opponent discards 1 card, which is really cool. And then if this is your 3rd attack during the turn, so like play an attack, play your acid spit, you get to draw a card. So you get the +1 hand size, which is really nice. But mainly for me, why I put it in the deck was the discard 1 card. It's very, very useful, and I'll show you why in a second. This is not the reason why, but I was originally testing to play 3 Deep Scar. It just wasn't doing as much as I wanted. So instead, I kept the 1 Deep Scar because I still think Deep Scar and Siegfried's really cool. But I made a 3 Whip Assault, trade out with that. I added 1 extra 2 check, which is fine. But I keep the same stats as a 6-6. It's a 4 instead of a 5, but most of the time I try playing Deep Scar as my 3rd card anyways. So like playing Whip Assault as my 3rd card doesn't matter. Combo E, this attack is 4 damage, so it makes it a 6-10, 6-13 with Siegfried, which is pretty cool. Then Combo E, discard momentum. Your opponent discards 1 card, so instead of discarding momentum for your Deep Scar, you're discarding for the Whip Assault to do the cool thing. And then Deadlock E, if it's blocked, it still does half, basically. Becomes a throw. And then we'll move on to Deep Scar, since I didn't explain that yet. It's a 0 mid with Breaker 3, which is really cool. It's 6-6, 5 diff. You discard momentum to unflip 3 of theirs. They can flip 3 to cancel, which is really cool. But it gains +X damage equal to the number, all the controls of the cards that were flipped added together. So like earlier in the game, I was playing right before this, before Tam went to bed and left me alone by myself to record videos because he didn't want to help. Ha ha! You have to listen to this later, Tam. Take that. I think I gave it it was 6, 11, 16 damage. So it was a 22. It was a 22 for lethal. He blocked it, but that was besides the point. I didn't have enough discard, I guess, but it can get up there. We'll move on to actions and assets. For Revoke or a Void character, it's really easy to pick up Revoke with this card, which is pretty cool. We'll get to that in a second. But you get to negate things, you get to build easier. We're playing 4. Your path ends here. Or card pull, your opponent flips 2. You make your opponent flip 2 foundations after you block with it, or they can discard a card. The discarding card thing is what we want. if they decide to flip, it just benefits us a little bit too, which is pretty cool. Then E, this attack is plus X or minus X damage. X equals the number of face down of cards your opponent has in their staging area. So you just do this whole game of baiting them into flipping things, and then you're able to give your smaller attacks big damage, and then make Siegfried make it to where they can't be reduced, which is pretty sick. Because once they flip enough, they can't flip again. They can't unflip something to use Siegfried's ability. So once they have nothing to flip face down, they can't cancel your path. They can't cancel Siegfried. They can't cancel things. Like you get to play uninhibited, which is pretty cool. But I mainly like this for the making them flip, and then most of the time if they don't want to, they discard a card, which is also pretty sick. We're playing 2 Requiem. Because we have face downs, it's easy to do with Siegfried. It's also a 6 check, which is pretty cool. Because we make our opponent flip. For Pride of the Tribe, this says after you respond, after this is committed to pass the check on a block, your opponent flips a foundation face down. So you just build these, you block a card, commit, they flip 2, then you bring the new card down with Siegfried. It's pretty sick. The only problem is it does have 1 mid, but it's only a 4 check, which sometimes is not cool, especially with how many actual 4s we're playing in this deck, which sucks. The card I was talking about earlier with the Revoke, we're playing 4 Desperate for Redemption. This card has a nice cool loop with Siegfried of blocking and moving. This card says after this card's added to your staging area, you can add 1 other foundation to your hand. So you have 1 in your staging area and you block with this one. This one will move in and you can pick up another Desperate to your hand with its ability and then block with it. Siegfried respond, move it, pick up another one, and you just keep doing that as long as you can block well, which is pretty cool. The other thing you can do is unflip foundations like the Fei we play in the deck, and then you can pick up a Revoke that's face down and then have a Revoke in your hand to use for stuff. So you can still do some cool combos with this. Its other ability is unflip a foundation, which is pretty cool too. I think I may have mentioned that. It's late, I'm sorry. We're playing 1 Hi-Fi Stereo. Oddly enough, with the cards I'm playing in this deck, this Hi-Fi Stereo is really funny to me. Originally I was playing 4, and then I remembered, or was told by Tam, this says your turn. So I can't just block move with Siegfried to make them discard. It sucked. But it's really cool in combination with Elimination Mode. Elimination Mode says after a player discards a card due to an effect, draw 1 card. So take note, just so that way it's known. Stuff like your path ends here and Rock Splitter do not trigger Elimination Mode. You are paying the residual cost of these abilities to discard and prevent them, not due to an effect. It's due to the cost of the card. So these won't trigger the Elimination Mode. But building into a cool turn, dropping your cards down during the end phase, committing Hi-Fi Stereo, and then drawing more cards, it's just really neat as well. So that's one of the things I was learning when I was playtesting, was just well, I'll build 2 more. Still have 1 foundation in hand, 3 attacks, and then go, cool, you discard 1 card, I'll draw 2 cards. It's really neat. And with all the discard engine we're running in our deck, this just gives us more hand advantage. We're playing 4 Quest for Vengeance. This card says, after you block with it, your opponent discards a card. So you do this, you block, you make them discard, you move with Siegfried. And then, if you want, you could just block with this, move it, pick up this. It's really cool. You can do cool things like that. It's just really neat. I was playing 3 of it, and then I upped it to 4 when I really saw how well the discard engine worked with this whole thing. So we'll keep it that. Then we're playing 1 Esoteric Yoga. After your opponent adds any number of cards to their hand due to their effect, they discard 1 card. Cool note with Goro, you can make them a permanent 3-hander. It's pretty funny. This one won't do the same thing with Goro, but after your opponent adds 1 or more cards to their hand due to their non-character effect, they add 1 card from their hand to their card pool face down. So it doesn't work with combo characters, but kind of hurts you if they're playing like Akuma or something, because you just give them face downs. But whatever. Because we make them discard, we don't want them to draw back up. So we play 3 Venomous to just turn it off. Because we block and move, we play 4 Feifei. Pretty simple. To get rid of problem cards and face up so they can't flip with Siegfried, Siegfried's Other Cost. We play Outworld's Heirs to get rid of those. Then we're playing one Survivalist. Turn off increases and whatnot. Play defense. One Retreat Arctica. Play defense. And then I'm playing on one of Fusion of Souls. Deadlocky, flip, commit your opponent's character. Sometimes this character, because of its damage debuffs and everything and whatnot, really can go into deadlock with its opponent. And this card is just a really neat way of not getting shut out by your opponent because they have a cool character that does more than yours does. Getting to turn off Rimless when I was during the stream was really cool if I could draw things to do things. And really neat-wise, you can just unflip it with Desperate for Redemption. So you can continuously keep using it. Or pick it back up and play it again. Like, it's pretty cool. So let's get into that end cap. Okay guys, that was the deck profile on Siegfried. And again, shout out to David Guerra. If you want to see more topics, if you want to see more deck profiles like this one, make sure to leave us a comment in the description, send us messages. We read all of those. We love reading all of those. If you want to see more content like this, check out the rest of it on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the cool stuff. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/UFS University. We have a TCG player right now if you want to go ahead and check that out if you're looking for any Soul Calibur, Bebop, stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is on the TCG player. I'm using it from there just so we have pretty cards and not just proxies that look weird and bad. If you want to... No, that's basically it. Check out other content, guys. And as always, stay learning.